Welcome to Club Wisdom 8. Welcome and thank you for tuning in. I've been pretty upset about the problems with the game as of recent, so I want to share them with you. I haven't actually been this upset with the game since it started, so I think it's important I talk about it. And this is the second video I had to make because my first video had so many swear words that YouTube did not allow it. I didn't know that. I didn't know, apart from like the F word, I didn't know that there were certain rules. I thought I could say every single swear word in my mind, but no, that's not true. So let's just start with a nice peaceful word such as hell, because I'm allowed to say hell. And if I'm going to put in hell, I'm going to say the situation with the game and how they treat global players. I would say the karma for most people who have experienced big problems would probably be this company needs to go to hell. So I'm being kind, but I'm saying that this company does not provide a global service for an official global service to help people who play the game, and this is not right. This is completely incorrect. It's not on, and they shouldn't have made a global server if they weren't prepared to deal with the consequences. Yes, I understand we're supposed to go to support if we have a problem, but honestly, and where's support here? But it's actually, when you're playing by yourself, you want to know, even in the news, you want to know. God, I dropped my spoon for stirring my tea. See, that's how angry I am. Look at it, it freezes. Look at how long it freezes. It freezes. I don't know why it's freezing. It's like, what kind of news is it? Is it, don't tell me. They're going to tell me the latest news. They're going to say, sorry, the global servers broke. No, they're not going to say. They didn't even, it took them like 4 days on the Korean server to even admit. And then they didn't even admit it. They said it was only global 2, when actually even global 1 had effects as well. Oh, look at that, 2021 news. What kind of global user wants to read about 2021 news? Why can't they just update it in English? Why is it that they help the Chinese? They put all the latest stuff in Chinese, but they don't do, and Korean, and they don't do anything in English. What's the problem this company have? You know, maybe you feel like, oh, poor company, they have enough on their plate. Even when I tried to deal with the problems of the global server, even when I tried to go through the Korean channels, which wasn't easy, it's like, yeah, it shows that there's a lot of people who don't understand. It's like many people played the game with a guest account. Perhaps. The thing is, even when it was happening, it was quite easy to see that even the Koreans had no idea. The game master, Lena, didn't even know why this was happening. So that was sad. But what was a bit more sad was that it took them like 4 days to even have a bit of accountability. And as you can see here, even the Koreans are like, this is a Korean gaming website. No one else speaks. No one else probably speaks in English. You should go find an English speaking community, not here. This is the only official place, the Korean one. They don't even have one for even for Chinese speakers. It's like the Koreans are so naturally racist. It's like they think, oh yeah, you got that. The game is global now. You've got all this. You're fine. Well, we got nothing, you know. It's like we don't. The closest we have is the Discord that we provide. We have a Discord channel and we try to deal and help people. But if they're not even giving us direct help, it's like, what are we supposed to be doing? It's like even a lot of them don't know anything. I would like to say thanks to one Korean though, called Arabelia. He's actually very, very helpful, as well as Core, and you've probably seen his videos like 155151511. Yeah, so I think those guys are super helpful, but if you ever get into the Korean channels, not only is it nearly impossible to make an account, there's just so many problems. There's a lot of trolls who really are horrible. I never knew it would be that bad, you know. Doesn't make any sense. So this is the first issue I really have about the global server going down, not enough accountability, and you know the compensation, right? Let me tell you, the first bunch of people in the first day who were quick enough to deal with it, they got around like 1,300 gems. And then I find that the next bunch of people who had these problems, like they only got like how much? They only got like, I think 500 gems. It's like they didn't even give the same amount of gems in compensation. And you must remember, the people who first had the problem, yeah, the ones who first had the issues, they got their situation fixed quickly, and they got 1,300. And the ones who had to wait like 3 days, 4 days to get their account back, they only got 500. Do you see, like, do you see how ridiculous like they are? It's crazy. So I must say, they did a very bad job here. They did a bad job of dealing with the people who had problems with their accounts, and also once everything was updated after the update, a special update for Global 2 last week on Friday, people didn't know they had their accounts back. Loads of people didn't know because there was no news in the news to say that you will get your just log in and get your accounts back. People had no idea. So again, there's a lack of information for the global users, and this company need to do something about it because it's disgusting. They really have to, or I'm just gonna make videos that completely go crazy at this company, because I can't deal with it. Why do I have to do the job that the company's supposed to do? Why do I have to deal with everyone's issues with the game when it should be the company that deals with it? You know, so if you're on my Discord, you're gonna see, it's not my Discord, but you know, our Discord channel, you will see the amount of problems like in lost accounts. So again, I'm peeved. I'm not happy about it. So really, they got to do a better job. Okay. So that's the first thing. First things first. So I need to get this off my chest. Otherwise, I don't feel like making any other video. I have another video prepared, but I just can't until I explain this. The next problem is this. So, you know, 4 weeks ago I said there's going to be an update, right? Where you're going to have some extra stars. Well, the extra stars are now out. So if you transcend, you can now go to a further transcend, which is transcend level 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now you can do this for every hero unit. And what this does is the first one you do, it opens cloak, so the cloak stays. But before that, the cloak, so with 1 star you can give a cloak, and then it goes up. Well, let me tell you, at this current time of speaking, there's a bug where if you upgrade from like 6 stars to 1 star, your ability, your HP, your power goes all the way down to 1 star. So there's a bug where it resets you to 1 star. That's what's happening at the moment. And what upsets me again is that the company's not telling anyone about it. In Korea, did they talk about? They didn't really talk about it. They talked about something else, about a problem with Jenny and Ellen, which they gave an update for on Wednesday. They've updated it, but they didn't really talk about when they're going to fix this problem. Now, for people who are paying money and want to have a stronger unit, and to find out that your unit's going to become weaker than everyone else's, it's really sad. So if you've noticed a change in Mercedes and you did this, now you know that why your Mercedes is weaker. And let me tell you something else that is a big problem for many people. The big problem is that they've just like dumped 12 stars. It's like, where did that come from? It's like, and also, it's not even, you know what? It's not even what you think, right? You think it could be like 50, because to go up the first time, right, you need, if you want to go up, you need to pay 50 of the shard things, right? Well, let me tell you something about these things you have to pay 50 for to take your star to level 7. Where is it? Here somewhere? Yeah, so these soul stones, if you want to, so 50, so which is one duplicate, 50 will get you to level 7, but guess how many it takes to get you to level 8? Yeah, well, it's double. So you have to do 100 soul stones to get to your stars to 8. How many soul stones to get your stars to 9? I believe it is 200, and then I think it goes so 50, 100, 200, 4, 8. I think that's correct. Let me double check. In fact, it's called the 1, 2. Oh, I remember. There's a special number. You see, what happened is in Korea they don't call it so. They say the joke is they don't call it 6 plus 6. They don't call this the 6 plus 6 thing. They call it. So as you know, you're getting 6 stars to make another 6 stars to make level 12, and so you'd think, you know, you get your 6 stars and then you get another 6 stars, 6 plus 6. But in Korea they don't call it that. In Korea they call it like the 6 plus 6 equals 27, which has 0 meaning, right? But what it means is it's not 6 plus 6. What I think what they're trying to say is, okay, let's see if I can do this right. It's 6 plus 1 plus 2, so that will make you level 8, plus 3, level 9, plus 4, level 10, plus 5, level 11, and plus 6. Okay, so they don't call it 6 plus 6, they call it the 6 plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5, plus 6 upgrade. So this is a kind of joke. This is a kind of way they're like, you know, can you believe how much? So if you'd think like having 6 stars is bad enough, right? But it's not. But think about this, it's not even like 6 normal upgrades. It's like it literally, it's not a double every time, but you add 50 extra soul stones every time. Do you realize how hard it is to reach that? So it's not only that people are like peed off, like not only are people going to be peed off about this upgrade, for instance, but when I think when people find out how much it costs just to move to even star 8, like when people find out it goes from 50 to 100 to 150 to 200 extra you have to pay, like, and then it reaches 300. I think when people find this out, like on top of being peed off, this is going to really drive them insane. So please keep that in mind. But for me, I'm okay with it. Although I'm not ever I don't ever have a plan to raise anyone by 12 stars. I don't have a plan with that. I'm happy enough that they don't open more weapons. So at least with 1 star, you get a cloak. You can wear a cloak. So I think that focus is fine. I think just stick with the 1 star. If you want to do more on your favorite hero, go ahead. But I'm saying that I think 1 star is good enough because it gives you an item you can have on. So I'm happy to pay that to put another item on. That's good enough. Anyway, don't do it yet until it's fixed, until the problem's fixed. But yeah, so let's get into why. Why in the world did they just add 12 stars out of nowhere? So I think this is very, very important to understand. Why is this? So in general, you must remember that the Koreans had this game actually up to 2 years before us, but a lot of them didn't play it in the first year. A lot of them only played it for a year. They played it from around February 29th in 2021. Now you must remember the Koreans have collected so many items. They have so many purple hero tickets. They have so many things. So from what I understand is that upgrade to level 12, that was already planned to take place perhaps around January, but because the global servers and the Korean servers became one at the same time, like they're not they're different, but they run at the same speed. Because of this, I think they did spend longer. They were going to put the level 12 earlier, but because of global server they didn't. So although this comes as a shock to the global users, for Koreans I don't think it's that much of a shock, unless they're new players of course. But the point being is that yeah, so from this point of view it's a shock, but I would say it's not something to worry about. But I tell you what this change is actually, and what it really means in general. So it seems that what the idea was, the Koreans were supposed to play the game in the first year and buy lots of different heroes and get used to learning different factions and enjoying it. That was the first aim of the year, because even the faction arena never used to be focused on one faction. So maybe you don't understand what I mean, but before I think every day a different faction would be used in the arena. It would never be the same faction. You wouldn't be able to choose your own faction and leave it there. That was not the case before, but now it is. You have only one faction. You can choose any faction you want. Oh, that's nice. You can choose any faction you want. I don't really use it on this account, but the point was, before you were limited. They would choose the faction each day. So I hope that helps, that they've changed that. Now the question I have is, why did they change the faction arena? Why is it you can't use any faction? Why is it okay to just use your own faction, your favorite one? Why did they change that? So I'm going to say that the reason they changed that connects to why they added 12 stars. So I think this is quite important, and also this connects to the loyalty. And how do all these things connect? How does loyalty connect? So loyalty here. How does loyalty connect with transcension of the stars to level 12? And how does the arena faction connect? Well, let me tell you what's happening. I believe, and I've heard it as well, that they're changing the meta of the game. Not the meta of the game, they've changed the meta of the game enough, but what they're trying to do is, I think they're trying to get each player to focus mainly on one faction, not to have more than one faction. So I believe that is the aim. And you must remember, it's not only heroes, right, that can go up. Please don't forget, it's also like soldiers, yeah? So soldiers can transcend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to buy that, at the first transcension needs 64 medals. I don't even want to know how much the second one costs. We're hoping it's still 64, because 64 medals is expensive. But either way, the first one allows the soldier again to wear a cloak. So again, collect those cloaks. Don't know. So there's only one legendary cloak. Does it give you anything else at the top? No, thank goodness. And what's the difference in HP? Does it still go up by 500 like the heroes? No, it goes up by less. Okay, so I hope that helps you to understand that, because if you invest so much into a certain unit, you won't be able to have the ability. Even Wales would have problems investing in every faction. So what the changes this game is making is that they're kind of pushing you into working with only one faction, and that one faction is going to be the one that carries you. And now they've given you enough power, that you have enough power now to be able to carry any faction, like to get one faction to literally maybe complete all the quests. That's definite. You could actually achieve that, because because they've added loyalty, because they've added level 12, because they've literally nearly finished awakening, because they added the soul weapons, there's enough power. You'll have enough power to make one faction complete a game, no matter what faction it is. As long as you put all your time and energy into that, it can be achieved. So I think this has a good side, and it can stop Wales going crazy and trying to pull everything and wasting their money on everything. So in one respect, it could make Wales go more crazier in one respect. But for the free to play, I hope you can understand that it's time that you focused on one type of unit, okay? On one type of unit. And what kind of unit should a free-to-play focus on? Well, of course, everyone at the moment is just thinking Werebeast, 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 Werebeast. I think in general it's up to you, but and I'm gonna say honestly, at this point in time, I'm gonna say that I think the heroes are so interesting that I think we've reached the point where you could probably focus on any faction, and if you know how to utilize them well, you could probably make any faction rule the game. However, the one problem with the Werebeast is that Natasha is so powerful. She's so powerful that it's on another level. It's like, so if you get her to level 6 stars, she doesn't just like leave a mark on the enemy, and the enemy would receive the enemy receives an additional 20 damage. It's not 520 or whatever, it's more at 6 star, but the enemy would actually receive at 6 star 100% damage when hit by a Werebeast faction. Yeah, so 100% with a Werebeast. So any Werebeast that hits the person who she targets, and remember, it doesn't just leave a target on one enemy, the damage is also to nearby enemies. So those enemies would receive an extra 100% damage. Now, the only problem would be is the cooldown is quite long, but you might be able to damage everything in a quick time, and this is very ideal for bosses. If you're again, like, she'll end up becoming good on any type of boss, so you'd be able to clear a lot of things and get very high points, such as the World Raid boss. You might do much better than you could have done before. You might do better for your guild, so it might become like a must to have this kind of unit. The problem with her is that she's weak. She's not very strong, easy to kill. Literally one hit and she's out. So protecting her is probably it's not going to be easy. So she's going to be definitely the target of everyone in arena. Either way. So in fact, there's one thing I haven't done. I haven't checked. So if she has 7 stars, does that? I never checked. I think. Does it actually change anything? So 6 stars, right? Smashing strike. Oh, sorry, wrong hero. I never actually checked. So I never checked. Does after 6 star, apart from the stat increase, does it actually change the ultimate skill? I never looked. So the ultimate skill, as you can see, 100% damage, cooldown 25%, 25 seconds. Does a 7 star change any of that? If it does, this is going to be. I'm going to be worried. I'm going to say please don't. Please don't. Nothing. So I put it on 7 star. 100% damage, cooldown 25. Keep going. No change. Keep going. So ultimate skill is not changing. Higher, no change. Higher, no change. Top, no change. Okay, so I'm very happy about that. If the ultimate skill changed, I think I would flip. I would really be angry, but who's to say that the ultimate skill won't change in the future? Who's to say that they won't add these changes? So either way, the change, the HP increase of like 500, and if you think about it, right, look at it, your 6-star CP is 151, 15188, and then you have 12-star, and then the CP is literally doubled. That's so it goes up by another 150,000 or 15,000. It's actually quite a huge increase. So for those with loads of cash, it could be it could be very good. So these are types of things really to think about. And if you want to consider again what soldier, what heroes to upgrade, again I would say if you really like the heroes, you could make any of them work to one extent. I must say, personally, I'm quite impressed by the Royam group. You must think that Alus's soul weapon is amazing. It would take you a lot of time and money to invest, but Alus is really good, and the Royam units, their awakenings are very powerful. They can cause a lot of trouble. And then you have other units, for example, and Saphir is not nice to fight either. And then you have the orcs, you know, and at the moment I would say the orcs at the moment still remain the best in arena. They're just too powerful. The orc archers are extremely powerful with their poisoning and everything. Kirk's awakening is amazing. So the orcs, you can't underestimate them either. Kurumi is unbelievable. She crashes the magicians out there. And who else do we have? Yeah, Lean. So we have the elf. We have the elves. And you know, if you've gone up against elves in arena, you've probably been surprised at how powerful they can be if there's a real good bunch. So yeah, Lavia heals everyone. Silver is not bad when fighting a line of people. And then Jackhan's. Kremhild is definitely the best for tanking. Well, actually I say that, but it's Kremhild and Dread most likely. Kremhild and Dread's tanking ability is unbelievable. So, and Shamak is one of the best, top tier, but you have to wail him out. Creon is definitely one of the best as well. In the next ranking, he is coming straight up. Creon is definitely S. He is unbelievable. He can do so much, and his new soul weapon really helps. Vikal is unbelievable as well, but it takes too much cash to get his weapons high enough. Cobbs is so great for the Royams. And then we have Mercedes, the great Mercedes, who belongs to the Empire, who is held up by Celiaz, who Celiaz has the best soul weapon ever. So there's some great things, but at the same time, you know, these guys have really poor magicians, and so their soldiers don't really make up enough for everything. So the problem is the heroes might be good, but the soldiers may not be. But the soldiers for the Jackan army are quite interesting, especially if you pick that. I think the cavalry are quite good. And then Aisha's the one who buffs up all the lightning magicians, and that's the current meta for, you know, the Amazons. That's the current meta going on for the free to play. And those lightning magicians combined perhaps with Werebeasts, moving into Werebeast, could be ultimate for your gameplay. So I think what we're having here is something quite unbelievable. What's weird though is Shan, because this Shan guy combined with Shan's how do I put it? Shan and his soldiers are quite, like, his soldiers are like the fox swords. Like, it's a very, very strange bunch. It's like Shan and his soldiers, you know. Oh, sorry, I always press it wrong. Here we go, normal soldiers. So if we look at the Werebeast soldiers, these foxier chargers are so weird. They're so different to all of them. I mean, these guys have like a melee evasion, and it increases by 10%, and it's like exactly the same as Shan. It's like these little Shans, and maybe one day, or if someone uses them right, for example, if you were to take these guys, add a cloak. Wait a minute, does cloak have melee? It's just, no, CC resist. It doesn't show me the lower cloak. Have to look at that later. But what we have is, if you take this fox to level 70, yeah, you can put 2 rings on. Yeah, so no ring until level 70. And then if you stick on, is that melee? Not that one. That one? That one then. Yeah, if you stick on a melee, equip that, and then stick on another melee EVA, equip that. So Foxy has 60%. And let's awaken him. Okay, and let's see, are there, yeah, I could have other melee items as well, ranged EVA. Yeah, so the point is that if we could put this, if we had loads of melee items, there is a melee here somewhere. In fact, maybe not. Do these necklaces only do ranged? Yeah, so only ranged, is it only ranged? It's pretty, only ranged, but yeah, the armor will offer melee. So if I put this, if I could get this melee closer to 100, these swordsmen could cause a lot of trouble in a different kind of way, and it doesn't go up anymore with that, does it? No. So, and the awakening doesn't influence it, so that's quite nice. These guys could just cause the cavalry a lot of trouble. What about the active skill? Yeah, what does it increase your melee to if it was awakened at 21? So melee, yeah, evasion increases it by 40%. So, and it's not 40, I think it's not 40% of 60, it increases it from 60 to 100. So the game clearly understands, they knew that, they kind of know that if you had these 2 rings and had a melee evasion at 100%, do you know how much trouble you could cause? Like, literally no one's going to hit you. These guys could really pee people off. Of course, long range can hit it, because that's not long range evasion, that's like close up. But you know, that just, those foxes are really scary. Because while everyone's trying to hit those foxes and they can't, and then you're just shooting them all over the place long range. So the game couldn't handle that. A bunch of foxes, and then so the point is that at the moment there's so many different things. It's like the shock cavalry are extremely powerful, a lot more powerful than the Werebeast Raider, but the Werebeast Raider have a shorter cooldown and they have a shield of 30%. So they could like block 30% of magic, whatever, but you don't really buy these guys to bother with a shield, so it's difficult unless the attack was the same as that, which is not completely different. So there's so many things to consider here. There's so many different choices. The Werebeast archers are very interesting. They can like escape in some ways, like with their skill. Their skill is completely different to any skill a hero has. Now these spearmen are quite tanky, and yeah, they deal a lot of damage, and they can really I don't know how to say, they're a bit stronger than I expected. Their awakened potential surprised me. So yeah, so these guys, I'm actually, look, they're pretty cool. I've actually decided that I'm going to invest in some of these, and melee damage is increased by that, which is weird. I don't think I'll awaken them, but I think I'll invest in some, because there's one thing about, if there's one thing about the Werebeasts, they've got no defense. The biggest defense will be the spearmen. I think the Foxier Chargers have zero, I don't think they can do much in terms of their defense. So physical defense 79, magic defense 102, 79 versus 102. How about these guys? I'm sure it was higher, right? Yeah, so 110, but not against magic. So it's interesting. So who are you going to choose? You're going to have the stronger physical defense. And they come, look at that, they come with a ranged evasion of 30%. What do the Foxiers come with? So many things to consider. So I haven't finished considering everything. What was their... See that? Only a ranged evasion of 5%. I think these why was that then? I think these spear users are very interesting. Yeah, I didn't change any other stat. So this is this 30%. How much is it? That oh, it's always 30%. That's actually wow. I'm just thinking against the orcs, they might cause a lot of trouble. I mean, think about it, right? Like, why is there? I don't think there's no ring. There's no ring that provides 40%, but it's like they come with a free ring, right? Yeah, nothing like that. So you have to focus on an armor. So yeah, melee damage down, reflection, and this one, no? Yeah, range damage down. So you could equip this, and it doesn't. Although it doesn't say anything there, it does do it, but it needs a cooldown. So that's nice. And if you awaken them, what else can you do? You can open up more. And don't tell me their soul weapon's not out yet, right? No, it's not out. So maybe their soul weapon might be surprising as well once it's out. Yeah, so anyways, there's so much to consider, guys. What are you going to choose? Because remember, whatever you choose, now we know it's so expensive. You can't just mix and match. You can't just pick different factions, or not too many. You have to really start thinking where you're going to stick at, because you need the buff of the faction leader to make your team even more stronger. So think very carefully, and again, I'm going to say I'm very impressed with all the quick updates, but level 12 is a bit of a shock, and I think in order to counter this, the developers should probably be giving, I would really hope that they could give us, as compensation, especially to global users, hero tickets. And I would like them to give, maybe, because it's so hard to upgrade, I think it would be kind if we had 10 to 20 hero tickets for free. That's how. That would really help. Still, whales could still play. It wouldn't mean anything to a whale. So, but for general players, I think 10 to 20 hero tickets to cope with this sudden increase would be nice. However, let me tell you, they are, from Friday, they are doing something. They're offering special another event. At the moment, we already have an event, and I'm telling you, there's another event going to take place, and all you have to do is just log in. Actually, yeah, 10 is nice, so they clearly see it, but it's only limited. They should have just put it on weekly of this one. This should have been weekly, because no one can keep up. This is nice. It would be nice to see what I get on this account. Yeah, so anyway, hero tickets. Yeah, these accounts are good. I'd say don't ever forget your daily shoes. Don't ever forget that. Always good to buy. And yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly, in a moment, I'll tell you about the new event, which is interesting. I'll tell you why, because they didn't talk about the event in the update. So that might mean that it's a kind of sorry, like for how angry everyone got in Korea about the 12 stars, and a sorry for the mess they made with the 12 stars and it not really at the moment the bug makes it makes your hero weaker. So I think that's interesting. So my aim on this account would be to get Celiaz's weapon, or in fact, I got 2, I didn't notice. So it would be to get anything on this account, to be honest, as long as they give me something. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Alright. Okay. Well, if it's going to listen to what I say, because it doesn't do this on my first account. On my first account, it just gives me the same weapon duped 5 times. Okay, so as you're going to listen to me, how about I'll have Aluces or Creons. Actually, I'd like Creons or even Mercedes. Go on. Let me tell you about this. This is the one I have 5 dupes of on my other account. Let me know if you have 100 dupes of this. I can't stop getting it again and again. Anyway, I can't believe I got a Celias on this. I can't believe it. If you had any idea how much I've lost to try and get Celiases on my account, if you had any idea, in fact, I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys later. Okay, let me show you the event. So according to the announcement I put up in the Discord, we have another event on, and the event is that from Friday the 25th, you're going to get 300,000 gold. And then the next day, there'll be 75 soul stones. That's really good. Sunday, there'll be 100 soldier medals. Now, those 100 soldier medals would be nice. So you could upgrade one soldier to 7-star. 500 gems on Monday. And one mercenary summon scroll 10 times. That's nice. Another 300,000 by Wednesday, and then a hero summon ticket on Thursday. That's kind of cool because with the green one you can choose any hero you want, and if you use the purple, sometimes it just messes up, but the green one gives you a 100% chance every time. And then Friday is 500 gems, followed by Saturday another 75 soul stones. Cool. And then 100 soldier medals on Sunday, so you could theoretically take 100 and 100, and you could take about 3 units nearly. Yeah, 3 units, and you could take them to level 7, which is kind of cool. And what I find interesting is the next part, which is, it says here, if you take a look, we will hold events frequently in the future. This is really a great thing about the game, about the events, but I really hope they understand the global and how hard it would be to reach level 12. I hope they can understand more about that and take that into consideration and maybe focus more on that. I understand maybe all these extra events are because of global, and I'm really grateful, but the level 12 is overwhelming. So honestly, I think there needs to be like 10 purple tickets given, or a lot more of those stones that will help you take everyone to level 7. And even if they gave a lot, we still wouldn't be able to achieve much, because as you know, it's not 6 plus 6, it's 6 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 6 plus 6 equals 27. So no matter what they gave us, we would never be able to have an ultimate hero anyway, so they should just give quite a lot for the beginning, and I think that would help to calm people down. Anyway, so that's Club Wisdom 8 over and out. Based on that, and based on my random soul pulling on this account, I'm in a bit of shock, honestly. You'll find out why. Okay, so Club Wisdom 8 over and out.